and the co-founder of the Campus Wellness Initiative. Today, Saurabh will be speaking on the important topic caste and mental health, understanding the challenges faced by the student and building inclusive solutions. Saurabh, Javim, and very warm welcome to this session. Uh,
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. We are eager to share your insight and learn from your experience without further delays. And you have 45 minutes only.
Yeah, thank you, Jai Bhim, everyone. Namo Buddhaya. So I hope am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, great. So now the topic is caste and mental health. So right now the thing is in the Indian institutions, if we look at, then there are a lot of discrimination going on at current scenario. If you look at recently 15,000 students have been dropped out in the last 5 years. So there are many occasions, many things uh, that are going on simultaneously, and it is related to the caste, that how we look at the caste and how it affects you psychologically, how it affects you physically, how it affects you mentally on the basis of social and institutional level. So uh, there was a committee formed by under the supervision of Thorad sir. So it says that in the committee says that there were 72% SC students who faced discrimination during teaching sessions in the AIMS. And out of these, 84% SC students were grades were affected due to their caste. 76% students asked about caste directly or indirectly during their own examination. As you know that in the medical field, there are 50% marks are through Viva. So this discrimination is happening because the Viva contains more weightage in their grades also. And same as goes with the what we call it in the IITs and other engineering and social institutions. So I'm going to cite some instances where I worked on these cases personally. So first instance where I recall is that there was a scholarship scheme by the SCST Commission, National Fellowship for Scheduled Caste for aviation students. It was to become pilots. So some of the students were selected in that scheme, and it cost around 50 to 60 lakhs for that scheme, where they learn that how to become pilot, how the flying sessions will be going on. So this is the record, and this is the record. So this is the record where from 2018 to 2025, the students that were enrolled, their flying arts, their course has not been completed. Only SC, ST students I'm talking about. So in comparison with general student, their course regularly completes within 2 years, whereas our students of SC, ST countries, their course are still not completed being yet. And they have now faced finances. They are now facing, they are saying that it is because of that field officer, that field flying officer, sorry, that flying officer who comes from the general caste. He says that he gives priority to the general students, so their course is not completed, and the students are getting overaged, and some students have dropped out. So this is the discrimination that is going on the ground with the students. And second, I will share a incident of a doctor. So of a yes, of an MBBS students. Now he has become doctor. So he says that we were brutally beaten. I'm talking about AIMS Gorakhpur. So the group of SC students were brutally beaten, and their caste names were written on their shirts when they passed out. So their caste names were written on their shirts. They were forcefully thrashed by the upper caste students. and a lot of things, even physically and sexually violence was also done with them. And you have heard about Rohit Vemula, Payal Dadvi, and Darshan Solanki also, where they committed suicide. So we cannot say that they committed suicide. We will say that they were murdered by the institutions. So the first thing that comes in our mind is, from what is the first stage that these things come into play. These things come into play when our students enrolled in their primary schools. Now, how primary schools they are enrolled, these things are started. Because if you look at, it is because of our parents, it is because of our intergenerational trauma. We have been transmitted that wrong information that were taught by the so-called upper caste people. So the so-called upper caste people, what do they tell us? What do they teach us? Because there are different sections in our society also who have been, who are Ambedkarite, who are Buddhist, and some of them, in some of the life, the Ambedkar is very new. So we have to see accordingly. So right now, I'll be coming on that there are three levels of caste, that how it harms you. So the first one is that there is a direct violence, that I was talking about, the student of MBBS in Gorakhpur, AIMS, where they were brutally thrashed, brutally beaten by the upper caste students, and because they know that from which caste do they come, from which background they do come, and people generally call them as quota students, quota people. So it is a direct violence, it is direct discrimination done by the individuals. Second one is institutional discrimination, that how the I was also telling about that Thorat committee, that how the institutions are discriminating against our students, that they are giving low marks, even they don't provide them proper hostels. If even if they provide proper, even if they are provided hostels, then they are not getting proper room, the room which they deserve to be allotted according to their ranks. Hostel rooms are allotted according to the ranks of the students. So this is the institutional discrimination. A very, very big thing is about this institutional discrimination is that there is absence of Dalit faculty, there is no internal inquiry process. And one thing that I recall is from the Rohit Vemla incident is that they said that it is that these students are under pressure. They were not going good in education and all these things. They were getting less marks. So this is the thing where institution, on what level the institution is discriminating against us. So this is the second level, that how the caste harms us, our students specifically. And third thing is psychological colonization. That psychological colonization, from which I mean, is that when a person feels, due to caste hierarchy, that he is personal inferior, the belief that one's failure, the belief that one's failure is deserved, that one does not belong, that a system is correct in assessment of us. This is the most pervasive level and the hardest to treat, because the person carrying its experience is it not as ideology imposed from the outside, but as a truth from about themselves. So this is the third thing. Now I am coming. I just want to know that if you guys are getting or not, if you guys are understanding or not. If there are some questions, then you can also stop me in the between, and I will.
Saurabh, do you have a presentation?
Right now, I don't have a presentation, but
Okay.
I can share. I have notes in my notebook, so I can't share that.
Okay, no worries. Yeah,
difficult.
just wanted to make sure that you're looking at a
I
presentation
I
and
will
notes.
share afterwards.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So fourth, so there are six psychological mechanisms that how it affects that how the caste affects our mind. So the first one is stress and biological damage. That how the stress creates a system, how the stress affects our health, affects our biological things, and how the stress is because we don't have proper psychologists in the hostels, in we don't have proper psychologists in the institutions. Second one is that how how it is. Second one is social defeat. That even becoming financially capable, we feel that we are not socially acceptable. This theory explains that why even financially comfortable Dalits report severe mental health burden, social status, not just material condition, but it determines psychological health. Third one is identity threat, where we feel that we don't belong to this campus, we don't belong to this place. We feel that if we talk about our caste, if we talk about our identity, then there will be something wrong which we were not hoping about. We were not hoping that if we will reveal our identity, then these things will come. Fourth one is stereotype threat. The institution make us feel that we are very less intelligent, we are not capable, and we should not come to these universities or we should not come into this academic space. There are some reports also I'll be sending you afterwards. I will send to Mahesh. Fifth one is institutional betrayal. We call it institutional betrayal, where we feel that the expectation we with the expectation we come into the institution, these are not fulfilling because of our caste. We feel that there are some we feel that we have been we are not getting opportunities because of our caste. We feel that we don't have sense of belongingness to this institutional, and we feel that we are being betrayed by the institution because it is built on our taxes or our money or the people's money. Sixth one is that caste gives you intergenerational trauma. How it gives you intergenerational trauma is that from
Saurabh, sorry to interrupt, but are you sharing any slides?
not yet. No, no.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I was creating the slides, but I didn't get the proper time. I was very busy in the cases, so I was. But I will share. I will share. So one generation pass this trauma to the other generation, that where you feel your parents tell you that you should not reveal your caste, you should not do this thing, you should not eat this thing, you should avoid these people. If someone asks you about your caste, then you should not tell this. So these are the intergenerational trauma. Now, now I come to the solutions, that what solutions we can have. First one is that the learnings that we were taught by the so-called upper caste people, we have to unlearn the thing, and we have to create our own curriculum. We have to create our own curriculum before entering the schools for our students. Like before this also, that storytelling was going on. So we have to create our own curriculum where our heroes will be taught. There will be our own story. There will be stories of Buddha. There will be stories of our uh, yes. So, and also that how we are going to use these legal tools, how we have to use SC/ST Act, how we can use the SC/ST Act specifically in the Indian scenario, especially in the India. So there were some demands also to the institutions. Recently, you have seen there was a lot of rage in the India regarding that UGC Act. So it is because of these things this act came on the Thorat Commission also, on the basis of Thorat Commission and other recommendations by the people. So there are a lot of demands, but by these demands, we are not going to get anything. Uh, we are not going to get anything, but we can only create a safe space. As I was reading that book of Baba Sahib Ambedkar, State and Minorities, where he says that we are as scheduled caste are more than minorities, and for that minority, what benefits we will be getting? We will be first of all getting our own institutions where there will be our own teacher, where there will be our culture. Like if you see specifically of the Muslim community, you will see a lot of institution and of the Christian community also in India. So they have that safe space where they can talk freely about their issues. They can talk, they can eat, they can have that dining discussion. So that's what Vabsa was saying, that we are more than a minority. He was saying that we should get status of minority, but right now we are very far beyond that. We will not be getting this thing, but we can also we can only demand from the government. We can only demand from the institution by filing court, by filing writ petition, by filing special leave petition. We can just do that. We have to create our own infrastructure. That's what I'm main focusing on this. That we have to create our own study circle in the institutions. We have to tell them, we have to tell them that we are here. We have to tell them there are a lot of scholarships. We have to create our own study circles. We cannot be depend on the institution, that one institution who is the father of the uh, caste discrimination. If you look at the all the deans and the institutional heads, they are all mostly are upper caste professors, and we know that they are going to work against us, and they are not going to make a curriculum which can affect us, which can help us. So we have to create our own institution. We have to create our own curriculum for that. So I'll be sharing slides. I will be sharing PDF with the Mahesh. So it's all from my side. If you would like to have any question, then I can answer this. Thank you.
Vishal, are you there?
Yes. Any questions from anyone?
Hello, this is Indranil, Advocate Saurabh. Thank you. I've been listening, and I really liked your suggestion in the end. What you said that we should be, uh, creating our own institutions and everything. And I never thought in that way. But I'm just trying to think that how that could be achieved, because how the Christian institutions or uh, other institutions from other communities. Uh, the Jewish communities who have their own institutions. Um, do you have any further thoughts on how that could be achieved?
Actually, I forgot to mention that point also. Thanks for reminding that. So we can get it through by converting into Buddhism, because Buddhists are the minority. We get the status of minority by converting into Buddhism. If you look at recently data, Jain community got much more funding than the Muslims and Christians in India as a minority.
Hmm.
Yeah. The only solution is by by doing conversion into Buddhism. We will get minority status, and
Right,
by that we can apply for funding from the government. We can do that.
right.
Yeah.
And also, I feel that, uh, how Mahesh sir and everyone, all of us are trying to do is uh, to get more and more people involved, within our community. And I think that from the funding perspective, or word of mouth perspective, I think that could be achieved if more and more people would be joining the community. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm with you. Thank you. Thank you.
Um, hey, Jebim Saurabh, this side Manish Vamanka. Thanks for the today's speech. I mean, opening your own institute is one of the way to resolve this issue, but that is not the permanent one, because we can't open so many institute everywhere, every state, every district. It's hard to do that. But I believe awareness is very important. So more and more this type of videos, informative videos, should be available for every institute, like having more our presence in each college or universities, like in USA. Like, see, they have every colleges have some student wings which address students issues, like sometimes for foreign student issues or their visa related issues. So I believe every institution, we should have some groups or voluntary group, or some like some team who's working continuously only on this specific topic, where they're creating their own group in every universities and colleges, so that people or student can aware about it, and more talking on this issue. Like, if you talking more statistical information, like what type of crimes or discrimination happening, mentioning on a public platform, awareness will be help more, I believe, like, rather than totally just there are multiple way to handle issue, no doubt about it, but I believe like more effective way is, and nowadays in the digital era, if we are sharing information more in different platform and different way, that will be a good idea. Plus, I believe even I know our people, mostly our people don't go to Vihara like the other religious people, go at least once in a week. And if suppose our people more going on the VRs and all, and at least 1 week we can put there to students, but no, this type of topic where we are discussing with students and kids or parents, even they will get aware. So it's like a whole society need to come together, first of all, address the issue, address the problem, and then work on it. So that will be give more solution faster, rather than you know opening university or opening on college will that will not uh, solve the issue faster way, I mean to say. So what is your thought on that? Like how we can
Yeah.
move on that direction?
Yes. So the first one is that also, if we create awareness and if we create our own helpline number, this will be a better idea. But if you look at the Indian universities, and especially central universities, there are a lot of student organization, but we don't have our own student organizations. So if we look at that left student organization who always say that Jai Bhim everywhere, but they don't work for us. They use our people for their own benefit. So we have to also aware our students that everyone who is saying Jai Bhim is not ours. Everyone saying Nama Buddha is not ours. So we have to create a PDF, create a information file, that where there will be some incidents, where there will be some guidelines that how to identify the people, because I have especially felt about the left organization that how they are using our people. And secondly, On the institution thing, obviously it is not a short thing, but we can create generations. We can create generations by forming our own institution. Like blacks of USA did a commendable job in that. They have started this thing in 1960s, and right now we are in 2026. But in 1960, Sahib also started his own college. But what are the condition of his college right now? We have to also think of that. So we need a proper organization. We need a proper group of dedicated people who can do this work. But ultimate solution, if we want to protect our students, then the ultimate solution is that we have to create our own institution.
Thanks, Saurabh, for answering the question. I'm totally agree with you. I'm not saying starting organization will not solve the issue, but it is a long way. And you addressed 2 points here. One is like black movements in USA, and in India, other community people are hijacking our people, or taking, just saying Jai Bhim or Namo Buddha, taking care. So I just want have my inputs on these 2 points. Like, when we are talking about black movements, the things, the discrimination in USA was totally different. Even though they had discriminating, they were not discriminating black people from their rights. Like, they had their individual, like, they had their job. Maybe they're getting less salary than white people, but they're getting similar job. They had their own bank, they had their own school. So discrimination what happening or in India was not like that. Our people are totally marginalized from there. Like, they can't have similar job, they don't have right to take money or open banks or have lands. Black people have discrimination in this way. They're only not able to access the same thing what white people are able to, but they have their own channel. Like, they have their own bank, they have their own school, they have their own churches. So discrimination was there, but not as bad as like in India. In India, where totally where our people don't have those access at all. So when we're talking about black people, they have their own colleges and all. So of course, their people are getting job in their industry, but not sharing the same platform with white people. So our things are little different here. We should know about this point too, I mean to say. And second point, yes, other people are taking our students into their wings or all. So again, awareness will be helpful, and we should have more talk on our news channels and all, like Dalit Dastak and all, where we should have that type of more discussions. I know I will not expect our main media will give us a platform to talk about these topics. So we should to reach out to our news channel, which we believe, like, some Bahujan channels or Samrat news channel, or those type of things where we can reach out and spread our voices. So that will be helpful. And yeah, so this is just my input. Okay, this is just my observation, and I'm saying starting institution is one thing, but we should not leave other institute also. Not like we are not working there, because ultimately our student going in every universities, every college, and they're facing similar issues. So awareness will be help them more, rather than they're facing some more discrimination. So this is my
No,
thoughts. So yeah,
no,
but
no.
thank.
Actually, you are very correct. I have met some people of Maharashtra. They
Mhm.
were my batchmates in the law faculty at Delhi University. So,
Mhm.
but what they are doing right now is they are teaching our student in Buddh Viharas.
Yeah, yeah, that's what
In
we have to use our resources, what currently we have. Like,
best
we
ground
have.
that we can tell our student before going into the school or institutions.
Yes, yes, we had to start giving this medicine, I will say, or
Yes.
from
So that,
childhood, when we are going to viharas, when we are going to, we should talk more vocal on this issue, rather than previously. And I can understand our people just started studying from last 70 years, and this is like a major discrimination is not happening in last 70 years, happening from years and years. So 70 year is nothing. We still need to work hard for next 100 years. Then only things will be more stable and all. So I can understand, but that's why everyone need to work whatever they can do. They had to work as per their strength, and try to resolve the issue. So yeah, I'm hopeful on that side. So thank you answering that question, Saurabh. I will allow to other people to have their question. I think Anjali raised her hand. So Anjali, if you want to unmute yourself and ask the question, feel free to do that. Thank you.
I think I just wanted to add something to Saurabh because you raised very important questions, and I think it's very important to one address them, but also work towards a solution that is sustainable and also rooted in community care. So you just mentioned the how Saurabh raised a very important point of Baba Saheb Dr. Ambedkar's vision of having our own institutions and getting the minority status for our community with, whatever ways that we can. But since it is a far-sighted reality for us, we are still building our community into believing Baba Sahib's vision. I think something very immediate steps that we need to take and we have been taking, and I think I would like to also have this opportunity to talk a little bit about campus wellness initiative that Saurabh and I have co-founded together. Uh, there is a gap between discriminated marginalized students and the institutions that are not prepared to have the sense of belongingness that our students definitely need to have, especially when most of our communities are coming from rural backgrounds, and almost all the institutions are placed in a very urban setup. So apart from just the caste identity, there are a lot of things that, people like you and I, we've also been students, and the coming generation, the generations who are still in higher education are enrolled in programs, are carrying forward, for example, aspirations of their family, the burden of taking the community forward, or economic, what do you say, challenges that they have in their family. That being said, Campus Wellness Initiative has come up with uh, a curriculum where we work on two models. One is creating peer solidarity groups within higher education institutions, currently piloting in certain colleges in Delhi. Then, on the other hand, we are taking marginalized students through an experiential journey where we have built a separate curriculum into ensuring that whatever we have not received from childhood, which is networking, self-esteem, self-respect issues, then leadership, social capital, economic capital for sure, but social capital, many things that upper caste folks or upper caste students by default get because they come from a privileged background. So when so many things are absent in a discriminated student's life, they enter in a very inferior phase in universities. So that is when when initiatives like Campus Wellness Initiative supports student with ensuring that they do have a community present already that ensures that there is solidarity with them. Then we take them through workshops which are done every 2 weeks in a stage wise format where we take them from in a journey from self to society to community responsibilities, and then to sort of capacitate them to become the leaders that can take the society forward. So we also create a chain reaction because in our community there is a problem that we do not have reference groups. So when our community do not have a reference, we do not know who should we become like. So we are trying to create that chain of leaders, the chain of change makers in our community, the students, that they do not drop out. And the ultimate objective of our initiative is to prevent all the suicides that are very prevalent among our community. So just wanted to share that with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anjali. Rajvi Rangari, I can see your hand is raised. So,
Yes, it is. I'm Rajvi, and I also have Ranjan Meshram with me. So we have a question to ask.
Yeah.
So, could you expand a bit more about the benefits of making our own institution? Because I was kind of thinking, wouldn't it kind of create a bit of further divide if Indians of different castes were further divided into different institutions instead of coming together?
No, 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 no. Not at all. by creating our own institution, I mean to say is that first of all, for funding, if we are dependent on the universities, because we are not now that capable that we can create our own institution by our own money. Secondly, for creating our own institution, if we want to get more rights like minority, then we need to convert ourselves into Buddhism. Then only we can create our own institution. We can create our own curriculum. We can create our own doctor, lawyers, etc. That what things we won't make them to learn. Like Jamia Millia Islamia is the best example. They have their own UPSC academy. They have all the reservation for the Muslim community. They don't have SC ST reservation in their university. So, and even if you look at the St. Stephen College also, they have a very good alumni network. They have a very good network of people where they can get internships, where they can get jobs, where they can do a lot of things. We will not get anything by remaining in this religion. We will get all the things, most of the things only by converting ourselves into Buddhism, and then only we will get minority status. And after converting, there are some of misconception in the society also, that we will not be getting status of SC. We will also be getting status of SC, plus we will get status of minority too. That is the main plus point. That's why Baba Sahib have chosen to convert himself into Buddhism. That's what I wanted to say. It will not create a divide in the society. Buddhism never create divides in the society. That's the thing. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vivek Dada, I think your hand is raised, so go ahead.
Yeah, it's me. And so, Saurabh, I think what you are putting the question is, about Buddhism as a minority. Is it recognized by the Indian government, Buddhism as a minority religion at all, or it's still in the part of a Hindu hold?
Sorry, I'm not able to get your question.
My question is Buddhism recognized as a minority religion in India?
Yes, it is.
It is? Or it's
Yes.
still a part of a Hinduism?
No. It is a separate. If you have to, if I'm going to tell you legally, then
No, I
it is
want
a.
the legal because we are having a legal discussion and the expert opinion that you are trying to put it, that it means does Buddhism have a legal status as a minority religion like a Jains or the
No.
Sikhs fought for
Yes.
it, because Hinduism does otherwise say, Buddhism is a part of Hindu religion, right?
Yes.
So, and that is where the fight comes, So I just wanted to constitutionally whether it is recognized as a minority religion.
Constitutionally, it is a minority institution, but legally, it is not if you look at the Hindu Marriage Act, there is a misconception that under the definition of Hindu, under the Hindu Marriage Act, Buddhism is the part of Hindu religion because its
Mhm.
origin is in India. That's why Hindu Marriage Act applies to the Buddhist people also, Jains also, Sikhs also. So this is the legal part. But constitutionally, Buddhism is a minority religion in India.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, because then it will be easy to get a status otherwise, because I think there has been this fight for years over this religious minority status to
There was also
Buddhism, Sikhs, and yeah.
there was also a debate going on that when you have converted scheduled caste people have converted to Buddhism, then why they need scheduled caste reservation? Why they need reservation? Or
Mhm.
why ST Act they can apply? So
Okay.
for that we need to understand it in a very thin language, because if we look at the Buddhism, the origin is of India, but constitutionally it has a minority status. And after amendments, this thing came into play. Before 1959 or before 1959, it was not a part of Hindu religion. The Buddhist people didn't get the reservation at all. Before 1959, there were some amendments in the constitution, and then only Sikhs and Buddhists got the reservation. Yeah.
Mhm. Right, right. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Just wanted to get the understanding from your side. And it's a long way, it's a long battle. It's been 75 years of independence, and we're still talking about the same issues, and probably we'll continue to speak until we achieve the right status, and our community's upliftment. The second question is I am having, I know, knowing the Mayawati being a chief minister in UP, she had opened the institution like the Baba Sahib Ambedkar, where the reservation is given to SC population more than 50%, right? So I think even if the our community member become a chief ministers, who have ideologically Ambedkarite leniency, those people can take a pretty stronger decisions, open the universities on their own and offer plenty of reservation. I think that might be a good status. And if he's having election next year, people have opportunity to get elected. It might be a way, to open the doors.
Yes. So that's what Baba Sahib says, that political power is a must. When you get the political power, you can open door for the communities. But these doors are very restricted, that when our people come into politics or our people come into power, then Supreme Court also shows his power. Because if you look at when the OBC reservation was implemented, then there was some Indira Sahni judgment, I think. Indira Sahni judgment that it put a cap on 50% reservation. So we want that our people should also come into judiciary, in the higher judiciary, especially not in the lower judiciary. From higher judiciary, you can get some more rights. You can get some more things. Because in recently in the Tamil Nadu also they increased the reservation to 70%, but it was declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and one more question before I allow the people. I know you're talking about the viharas and all that thing. I don't know what your observation would be. The users of the viharas for the educational study purpose mostly would be from the people who are underprivileged, right? Not the people among our communities who are wealthy otherwise. So I don't think that the imparting the equal access to, whether people are wealthy within our communities also taking the advantage of these viharas, because, that would have a diversity in discussions, diversity in exchanging the knowledges, right? Unless and until otherwise, what is happening, the people who are brilliant enough but not don't have the capital to take a private tuition classes and take the advantage of the private coachings. That is the community we are saying in the Viharas, not the wealthy among our communities. That's my observation. I don't know what you asked, but this is what we see when Anna is helping people, different level. The poor among our community, coming, asking for their assistance.
Yes, yes. Actually, this is very correct. But if you look at our people also, the first thing they do is they leave their own community. When they get something and they want to get comfortable in the upper caste community, by thousands of years they are not accepted. So they leave our community and they don't get back into the slums from where they have came. So that's what Bab Sahib says in his writings, as far as I recall, that कि अगर तुम कुछ बन जाओ तो अपनी समाज में वापस जाना और कोट पैंट पहन के जाना. So we can get a reference group कि हमें ऐसे बनना है. So this is the main problem in our people also, in some of our people, not to all the people, but in some of our people, that they even don't go to the Buddha viharas after getting something so-called when they achieve something. Yeah. I think Vivek sir has.
I think
raised
Vivek
his.
sir drop out. I just allow him to admit. Vivek sir, are you back? Vivek sir, are you able to hear us?
Yeah, I'm able to hear. I think I'm fine, So yeah, thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure, sure, thanks. Um, Saurabh sir, I think I can see one chat message by Miss Aruna Basurkar. I think she typed, when we fill any Indian government form, there's no option to select Buddhism. Do you see nowadays? Is that your question, Aruna? Miss Aruna? If you're able to unmute yourself, you can ask. Otherwise, I read that message and yeah. You want to answer on this, Saurabh?
Yes. So anyway, on this question,
No, I was thinking here whenever we fill the form when I was in India, like they used to give different Muslim, Sikh, Christian, other options in the form, but not the Buddhism. That means they do not recognize it as individual or independent religion. They used to think, okay, everybody comes under Islam or Hindu. So do we have now any option over there? Because in USA we have.
because okay, so
You could any form, like you go to the bank or somewhere, like whenever you go, there is that the Buddhism option doesn't come, and that's very bad.
actually that is the real politics. That's what they want. द इंडियन गवर्नमेंट उनको सबसे ज्यादा जो डर लगता है वो कन्वर्जन से ही लगता है. दैट्स द harsh reality. But for that, if you see any kind of form where you don't see Buddhism in that part, then we can also file writ petition in the High Court and Supreme Court also, because Supreme Court and High Courts are not accessible to our people, so they don't go into these courts. But I can help you. Obviously, if there is something which is missing in the form, then we can also.
No, I didn't mean that. I'm just asking you nowadays because we don't live there, so we do not know. So you must be filling some form, maybe in the school or the college or somewhere. So do they give any option? They recognize this is an independent religion?
I think in some of the forms they recognize. In some of the forms, not
Okay.
in.
And
Yeah.
that to in the government? Yeah. But the jobs and all, do they give this option?
I don't know. I haven't filled any job form
Okay.
yet. Yeah.
Any other questions before or any announcement before conclude the session?
Yes, I would just like to share the social media handles for the July 4th event.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
So I actually my computer died, so I'm going to share it in the chat. So I just hope that everyone is able to spread this information to more people so we have more guests at this event. And the Instagram handle for both Facebook and Instagram is the social media handles for both Instagram and Facebook is Mahabodhi USA. And that's all. Yeah. So like you can
Thank
just search up Mahabodhi USA on Facebook and Instagram and you'll find the account.
thank you, Rajvi. Thank you, Advocate Saurav. It is time to conclude our online Buddha Vihara session. I would like to thank Bhante for blessing us with the Dhamma talk. And thank you to the kids motivational story reader and Krantitai for conducting the kids session. Many thanks to our guest speaker, Advocate Saurabh, for the session. And thank you to all the participants who joined today and who plan to join next week's online Vihara as well. With this, we conclude today's online Buddhism